Excuse me, guys. Hey, welcome back. It's another closeout of another season of 90 Day. This time, the spinoff Single Life. It was an hour-long episode, and next up will be the tell-all. But Single Life is a spinoff from 90 Day, and it's like all the 90 Day fiancé couples that, they have 90 days to get married. They're partners from another country. They have to get the certain visas and all this paperwork and the legal things. And it can be a little bit messy. Even just their basic relationship alone, the long distance that plays a part. So some of these couples didn't survive, obviously. So the leftover people, here they get to go try to find love again. Just throw the leftovers to the single life. And so we're closing out this season with this final episode going into the tell-all. Starting with Pedro, Sophie, and the girls, as well as Via and Liz. So these guys are all involved in this scenario. So Pedro, he originally invited Sophie to the DR. She brings Julia, she brings Liz, and Liz meets Via, which is one of Pedro's friends, in the DR. So, Pedro and Sophie been going back and forth because he really wants to commit, and she's like, I don't really know. So she's down there at his invitation, down there playing with other guys, dating other guys, and all of this. She was honest with them, but I think it's a little rude when someone invites you to their country to spend time with them, but you're going to take advantage of all the other amenities out there in the DR, and by amenities I mean men. Okay, so Pedro left Sophie on silent this last little fight they had when he found out that she talked to another guy and kissed the guy. And I think that's as far as she went with any of the other guys that she met, I think that's actually the only guy she went on a date with. But she had been looking. And she was keeping her options open. And when they went to the bars, guys were coming on to her, talking to her. And she was flirting, So she did definitely keep her options open. Again, this last time Pedro felt like he was done. He left her on silent. She was hoping for at least a goodbye finalization conversation. So the girls, they go together to drink and talk. They actually meet up, I think, at Sophie's place. And she keeps talking about, she doesn't want to leave things on bad terms. And she's just like, where's Pedro? Where's Pedro? Why is he responding? He left her on red before. During other scenarios, especially when she first said, hey, I'm not trying to be serious. I technically am still married, and did the divorce process start maybe just early on? I'm not really even sure if she said it started at this point on the show. Anyway, he wasn't happy that she was still healing, and I think she did when asked, said that she has hooked up with her ex after the situation, after their marriage ended, that she did still hook up with him. So, he had his doubts, definitely, but kept trying to hang in there. So there's going to be a party, I guess, for their final night there. So Sophie just hoping Pedro will show up. Liz talks about Via and their situation. And they're like, well, maybe the guys will come to the party and there could be some type of happy ending or resolution. But with Via and Liz, it's unsure. It's up in the air as to what they're going to do. They like each other, but she does have somebody waiting at home. So it looks like it's some type of pool phone party. And Via does actually show up. And for some reason, he likes to get help out of his shirt all the time. So he's like, you got to help me get out of this shirt. So she does that, and he gets in the pool. They play in the foam. Sophie is sad. She still doesn't see Pedro, wondering if he'll come. Even they ask Via, is he coming? And Via's like, no, he's not coming. And it's because she kissed someone else. I think she kind of just tells the group that. She says that he's kind of overreacting. And, and she's like, we're not really in an exclusive relationship. He knows that, so he shouldn't be so upset. He said, you can at least tell me to bleep off or something so I can move on. She just wants some type of response. I feel like she's very emotionally immature. I'm sorry. Well, she says he is, but in fact, I think that she is as well. He's playing hard to get. So she's checking her phone. I think Julia tells her to check it, because Julia's been like the peacemaker and it's been, cheering Sophie on. She's really a great wing woman, and it's like the fact that she came there with them and we found out she was pregnant. The fact that her husband trusts her to just go to the DR and hang with a bunch of girls there, who knows what could happen. She is pregnant, so maybe that helps a bit. But I feel like they must have a great relationship if he trusts her to that point and she's preggers at the same time. Yeah. So I don't know a lot about Julia. I haven't really followed her marriage very closely. But I know they've had their ups and downs, but I guess they must have a cool situation. Well, at least I know that Julia is cool at this point. So he sees a call coming in from Sophie. That is Pedro, by the way. He's at his hotel packing his stuff. He's upset. He's being a big baby. He says, I'm leaving now. How's she gonna use me like a piece of paper towel, wipe herself, and throw me away? He's like, see you later. She can go ahead and enjoy these other guys. I got my dignity. He says his mother and his sister were right because they had an issue at his sister's party. She's still saying, why has he not said anything? Why is he not giving her any type of closure? So the girls are now leaving. Did you learn anything from the trip? Well, honestly, I'll have to say that Via and Liz had a really great goodbye. And, she basically told him that she wasn't able to do anything long distance, and long term, she's not sure if she can do that, especially due to her health. She feels really bad about this, and she's hoping that she's not making a really bad decision of letting this guy go. He still continues to be the consummate gentleman. He walks her to the vehicle, helps her with their bags. This guy seems to be a cool guy. They're friends. Seems like they may be friends for life, so to speak, but they decided not to do this full run. So that was a good way to say goodbye, good way to break things off. Again, not so much with Pedro, was a bit petty. Julia says, did you learn anything from this trip? And Sophie's like, no. Sadly, she should have learned something. I respect her transparency and her honesty, but she did also say if she would have had the opportunity, she wouldn't have taken this trip, because she realizes, I think, now that, hey, you should have been hanging out with the guy who invited you this whole time and not trying to hook up with other individuals. You could do that on your own time, on your own trip. But this was kind of a thing dedicated to meeting up with him. She when a guy plays hard to get, she kind of, chases the guy a bit. And, I think that I'm glad that Pedro played it that way. She's like, I need closure. I need you to say something back to me. I'm glad he didn't give her any of that. I don't think she deserves it. She was kissing other guys, looking at other guys, flirting with other guys. I don't think she deserves a final word. She thinks she does, and she thinks that that's the mature thing to do. Maybe it is more mature, but do you really deserve it when you weren't paying this guy much of any type of time? She was like a 50-50 thing. Now, she had her reasons in the way mom and sis came on and came through. That definitely was a big turnoff, but she had her reservations even in the beginning when she first met up with him, because she still felt like she needed to heal and she wanted to be out here on these streets. Then you should have let this guy know you were still wanting to be out here on these streets, or were you just looking to mess around with him? Like, what was your goal and what was your plan? Because if he was the mess around type of guy and he wasn't trying to commit to that level, I think she probably would have messed around with him. I really do. It's the commitment part that scares her. So Pedro, you may have been a bit petty, but I honestly think she didn't deserve any type of explanation from you. When people play games with you like that, you really, like, on either side, like, cause, guys can play games with us as ladies and kind of ghost us and play games with us. I mean, not ghost us, but just play games with us and maybe cheat and maybe look at other people and like, hey, you don't owe him an explanation if you want to walk out the door. Hey, at least say something to me. I keep texting you. No, you don't owe that person anything. Just let them be and let them feel bad and let them feel lonely by themselves. And again, like he said, she can go find her another dude and she'll get over it. So let's go to Colt, Courtney, and Philip. Did he say a menage a knot or something? Something he said. It was clever. But definitely this is an arrangement where Colt is staying with Courtney and her boyfriend because he really didn't have anywhere to go. And she's been looking out for him. And she really gave this guy too much. He was cheating on her, went to see that person and slept with that person and be with that person, came back. She's still helping him out. She really gave too much, and to the point where she's letting him live with her and her boy, her new boy, which is more than a boy. He's like 60-something years old, so, well, he's about twice her age or something. So it's a consensus between her and Philip. Colt's overstaying his welcome, so they go have a talk with them while he's laying on the patio in his little man Speedo. Why does he do this to us? Please put more on Colt. He has lost some weight. Still not anything that I want to see. They're fixing a charcuterie to take out there to him. She's like, this is like his last meal because he's about to be out of here. Now, he talks about he's able to walk now. So it's like, now you can walk. Feels like you can, what's the plan? He's like, oh, I get it. You guys want me to, now that I can walk up on out of this spot here and time to move on. I get it. And she's like, we'll give you some time. We're not going to say today, but he's like, yeah, you got about a couple days. You ain't getting that much time. And he's not surprised. I think he said that they never wanted him here. Maybe that's true. But you decided to go and be in this weird arrangement. He's all healed, so they're like goodbye. He said he'll miss Courtney, but it is what it is. She was his ride or die. She said also she's going to cut all communications once he leaves. He's a leech who'll take advantage of people. He claims to be sad without her. He's losing a big part of his life because she was always there for him. And he says she found love in a weird way. Well, you found love in a weird way yourself. Anyway, he said logically his next step is to go back to Diana. To me, I'm like, no, you just heal your body and your mind. You got work to do in yourself, son. Like, pick yourself up, get you a spot. Why are you going back to the other woman so she can go take care of you? Why don't you kind of grow up and man up a bit and then go back to Diana with something, as somebody, as more than you are, and not just to be laying up on people. Now, yeah, you can still walk. Why don't you go walk and find you, you're not in a position where you can't walk anymore. So walk and find you a job, find you a place, and then walk back into Diana's life if she still wants you at that point. Keep Diana online, keep connecting with her, stay, in touch, let her know your progress, but don't go up there and just play with this girl and you don't have yourself together again. He's just gonna love/leech off of her. So now some time has passed. Colt left about a week ago. She's blocked him. She's like, I don't know where he's at. She's named the possibilities. His mom, Diana, some girl in Florida, could be anywhere. I don't know where in the world he is. Like I said on my little short, where is Waldo? We don't want to know. But she's living her life, celebrating her 3-month anniversary with Philip. He's eating oysters and she's allergic to seafood. She's like, how does that taste? He's like, you don't know? She's like, no, I'm allergic to seafood. He's like, I don't even really know that about you. It's only been a few months. Girl, I'm allergic to seafood. I have some family on my dad's side. We're allergic to seafood. It's a thing. He said, well, you do know my favorite position. And she tells us that. And they have a daily life in the bedroom. She's saying he's good. She said this before. She says he needs no medical pill assistance when it comes to the bedroom things. He does drink a 12-pack of soda. She said she didn't realize he was so old, but the way that he is with her and everything, and they mesh together so well, it's not an issue that he is what she's looking for. So he's like, well, let me take this to the next level. He said, I love you. I want to be with you forever. He gets on the knee and proposes to her in the middle of the restaurant. Yes, they are celebrating their 3-year anniversary. So they were out to eat, of course. She's like, no. He's like, does that mean yes? Like, yes, it means yes. It's like, no. Like, she's so shocked that she's getting proposed to. So they kiss. The people in the restaurant applaud and congratulate them. And they're saying sometime this year. She doesn't want to rush too quickly. She wants to take her time planning it. So he's saying sometime this year. I see a whole reality show with these guys. The age difference. I'd watch her with the grandkids. She said she's going to have more grandkids than her mom. And if everything works out, that'd be the case. She'd have grandkids before she even has her own kids. I think that would be an interesting watch. I will watch that probably more than the House Chantel. Or, I'm sorry, the Family Chantel. They kind of can take it from that vein, but, have it be more tailored to Courtney and Philip. I would watch that. She was crying. She said, I waited so long for someone to be in my life, to be the one. And she's just so happy that she is now at that moment. And we're happy for you as well, Courtney. All right, now let's get to Vanya and Tony. Last we saw them, Tony was introducing her to his parents and very church-going mother especially, but they're both church-going. And Vanya was like, I'm not for the church. She does tell a little bit about her country, and there was a religious war, so that's part of her reasoning. And I think that they kind of understood that. Again, she reiterates from picking up from last time. She says no, she wouldn't enjoy the church situation. So the mom comes through and she talks about God and her connection, and it's a good thing. And the dad agrees. He says you need some type of association, I guess some type of belief system. And again, like I said, she tells about her background. In Bosnia, there was Muslim, Catholic, Orthodox, Christian. And all of these people were in her family growing up. But I guess she chose none of these. She said it was hard growing up, helping everyone, because I think they moved to the U.S. and she was the main one that knew English. She was helping her mom, her sister, and all of that. Her dad, her parents, with their trying to get jobs and all of this. So she said she worked a lot. And I think that's what the mom liked. She said she wanted a hardworking woman, so she was a hardworking kid trying to help her family. So that, definitely gave mom a check mark. Mom says she seems nice, but she's not sure if she's right for her son or their son. If it's God's will, they said that they'll pray that she actually has a relationship with God, because they kind of want to convert her still, but they're saying, if she may not want that, but we're praying if she does that works out, but we're not going to force it on her, basically, which I think is a good way to go. Just be you, and, you don't have to be pushy, and people will come around if that's really what they want to be or what they want to feel or believe. they'll come around. Just be you and do you. And if they're going to do it, they're going to convert. If not, they're not. Why put that added pressure in the whole scenario anyway? So I think the parents took a good stance. Again, they say she's nice, beautiful, and hardworking. They hug her, saying it's nice to meet her. And Tony says, hopefully the fact that Vanya loves me will go a long way in the parents' approval of her at the end of the day. And he said, they're always going to kind of try to see if you want God. That's kind of the thing that they do. But they're cool people. So she's like, yeah, that wasn't so bad. It turned out okay. So now Tony's like, now we're going to go next level. So yesterday they slept together. Today, meet the parents. Oh, and now again today, you get a special gift. So he's giving her this box. It looks like a jewelry gift box, right? Small enough to fit a you-know-what in there. So when she opens it up, he's got that little light on it, that showcase light in the box, which I think is really cool. But the showcase light is not hitting a beautiful ring. It's hitting a key to its place. She was like, who puts a key in a jewelry box? And he says, yeah, the next step for us is for us to move in and yada, 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 and all this. She has her complaints. She didn't say it to him, but she said it to us. She said, this isn't a ring, it's a key. She's like, what even is this? But she says, yes, of course, I'll move in with you. But she lets us know she's not looking for a roommate, but she's looking for a husband. And next time she gets a ring box, she's looking for a ring to be inside of there. They kiss and they celebrate. So, Tony, that's your assignment. Whether you know it or not, that's your assignment. Get that ring. I was dating someone with certain expectations, certain desires, and I kept telling this person to get that ring. And they finally got that ring. It was a lackluster situation, but it's okay. I feel like I don't really like to pressure people, but if you're pressuring me, I'm going to have to put a little back on you. If you want what you want, then we kind of have to compromise on this, and it can't just be all one way. You wanted what you wanted, so I wanted what I wanted, which was the ring. But that relationship, it fell through for me. Hopefully not the same for Tony and Vanya, and he hasn't even delivered the ring yet. So we got Kim, Jamal, and they're meeting Wayne's daughters. And Kim is like, oh, they're cute and tiny, and they look like Wayne. She says she's nervous. They're playing the pub game, some type of pub game. Is it called Skittles or something? You got to hit the first pin, which it reminds me very much of bowling, but the pins are like triangles. So there's like one in the front, and then it's like they layer it back behind each other. But I think it was called Skittles. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So they play the game. And Wayne's doing well, and she thinks it looks hot that anything he moves a muscle, she's like, this is so hot. You just like the guy a lot. Anyway, now they drink and talk. And they, she said, well, do you think it's weird that I came from America? And they were like, well, it seems a little bit fast. Do you normally move this fast? She's like, no, but Jamal chimes in, and he kind of talks about the situation with Soulja Boy. And says, they're young. He was younger than her. So then we find out from his girls that Dad dates younger as well. So we know they both date younger people. I'm glad Jamal was there to put stuff in check, but he did say that this other guy was not like their dad. So, Kim posed a really smart question to the girls. And I think more people should do this more often. Definitely meet the family, meet a close relative, and ask them. And you can do it in their face, just like she did. What are the red flags you see in your relative, right there? That's their dad too. He probably was shaking in his boots. Anyway, she says, the girls say he changes himself for the person. So whatever the person's into, he kind of gets into that thing. and then he ends up unhappy and the relationship doesn't work in the first place. Well, you shouldn't change. I feel like I kind of do that, but not to a degree where I'm not happy. I kind of think we kind of do that in relationships in the beginning because we like that person so much, and we kind of try to get into some of the things that they're into, but not to a point where it's kind of creepy. Then, and it's like taking over your mind and your habits. That's a bit too much. Hopefully that wasn't the case for him, but at least he realizes he's unhappy. But it's like he makes his own ending to the relationship because he does things he's not happy with, and then he's unhappy, and then he ends a relationship. Well, you probably should have just been yourself the whole time. And she says, yeah, I'm not trying to change him to be anyone else. I'm looking at the dad, I'm looking at the two girls. I'm like, come on, you guys could do the 90-day reality show following dad. You know, he's dating all these people. The daughters vet these people, not all these people, but he's out here, like Kim is out here, and trying to find love again. I could see them having a show too. Like, I see all these different shows. But one of the daughters remind me of Scary Spice, guys. I don't know if you see it. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to put that picture on the screen, but I see Scary Spice there. The whole issue of baggage comes up and not having baggage. And, Kim basically says at their age, you're definitely going to have some type of baggage. No one's perfect. Everybody has issues. It's unrealistic to not have that. And that's what the daughters were saying as well. She thanks them for coming. There's hugs all around. After they spilled the beans on him, he was like, go home. He actually was like, yeah, well, it's about time for you girls to go back home or whatever. So I was like, Dad, you probably wasn't happy about their even saying what they said. It probably sounded better than what really is. But anyway, I believe it's their next date. The next night, Wayne's going to cook for her. He's nervous about cooking. And this is the day where she said, hey, I'm going to have that talk with Wayne that she promised Jamal about the adoption of the kids and all of that. So again, he's nervous about cooking. She said, well, okay, if it doesn't turn out good, we can just order food. It's no problem. So they kind of giggle that one out. She has a question about, can he handle women with baggage? Because I have some major issues, and I don't want to call my kids baggage that I sent away for adoption. I don't mean it that way, but so when she gets to his place, he has a picture of her and Jamal, like a drawn out picture of them, and somebody, an artist rendered it or something like that, and he has a gift. That's his gift to her. He's making Jamaican chicken and rice, his mom's recipe, and she's not used to a man cooking for her. She feels good, she feels appreciated, but she still feels nervous because she got beans to spill. But it's been good vibes. They talk about, can we do long distance? And he said he could try. They could try to do something. She's like, well, are you my man now? And he's like, I don't want to put any pressure or any labels on this. So, I get why he said that. I do feel like it's a bit early. They do kind of want to be exclusive, but he doesn't want to say, you're my man, you're my woman just yet. This is the first trip of meeting someone in person. So yeah, I would definitely need a little bit more time before I put those labels on it. I don't see it as a red flag in that scenario, because it'd be different if they had been dating for a while, if they had at least a few trips under their belts of seeing each other, but this is the first trip. So yeah, I think it's a little bit fast. She begins to cry when she starts saying, I really have to tell you something. And I was getting scared. And I mean, any guy would get scared. I think any woman, any person would get scared. It's like, I really have to tell you something. And the person starts weeping. I would get freaked out a bit. So I hope I haven't been using the wrong word, but she tells about the kids that she adopted, that she put up for adoption. And she's like, please don't judge me. And she mentioned something about baggage. He said, don't call it baggage. That's not what it is. It's just you've gone through life. And he said, you're a strong woman. You've been through a lot. He said his feelings hasn't changed for her at all. And so the food is good, she's having a good time. She feels like she deserves this. The fact that he also accepted her and didn't reject her, she felt like she deserved this type of relationship. He offers for her to stay there for the night. She's like, well, I have an early flight. He was like, well, you're welcome to stay here. And she's like, no, I have an early flight, so I'm going to head out. But she's letting us know next time she's going to stay and, give him what he wants. Give the man what he wants. Because honestly, I was like, okay, he's offering her to stay the night. I'm pretty sure that he thought he was going to get some after accepting her after her story. And she's all emotional. Some people kind of do that. Like, oh, they're so emotional right now. I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm not trying to say he's that guy and he was doing that. But definitely, I think he thought he was going to get a little prize for his acceptance for the night. And I'm proud of her for not doing that, because I feel like with Soulja Boy, she was trying to get some as soon as she saw that dude. She was trying to jump his bones. I think she's kind of being a little bit more respectful. I'm not sure if they share a lip kiss or if it was side of the lip kiss. Whatever the case, what I saw on there anyway, because there's stuff that I might not have seen. I'm proud of her. I feel like she's grown, and then I feel like with certain guys that I liked, I wanted to kind of keep it under the vest too, so a little bit more. I didn't want to just give everything up, give it all away to some guy, to a guy that, I see a future with. And I don't want to give it up to just any random guys anyway, but a guy that I really like, I like to slow down. And some guys feel like that means rejection. No. A lot of times when a woman really wants a long-term relationship with you, she's not going to just throw herself at you. She's definitely not going to try to look like that girl that's just going to give it up the first night. Usually, now I can't say for all the women, but usually if she really wants a real relationship with you, she's going to come to you in a real way, and it's not going to be a game for her. All right, I'm talking a little bit more than I expected on this. So this might be a little longer than I planned here. But it's not a problem. Stay and hang out with me, guys. So let's go to Gino. He says he's not giving up on love. But tonight he has some plan. So he's going to the store. To me, it looks like a witch store. I'm sorry. There's stones and all of these different things. And, sorry if I offend anyone, but that's what I take out of this. Energy renewal, stones, quartz, candles. These is all that he sees in this shop. I'm like, okay, what is he trying to do here? The lady's like, I see that you need to go through renewal and all this. He's like, but I'm here to see my lawyer. So of course Gino's gonna pick a weird lawyer that has 2 jobs, and he runs this store. Well, this store belongs to him. He's really ready to file for divorce. That's the thing he's trying to do. Really file for divorce from Jasmine, finally. So at this crystal shop the lawyer owns it. He uses these tools to help reduce stress. He says he's a spiritual explorer in the Reiki. He says it helps in his law practices. It's law practice to be able to handle high levels of stress. So this is what he uses in that. And I'm sure he probably gives tips to his clients as well. Gino, it looks like he could be responsible for Jasmine's baby with another man. He said he was told that by the other lawyer. And the lawyer, this guy now is saying, yeah, that is actually possible. He said the longer you wait, the worse it can be. So you need to make a move at this point. You need to file now. It is quite complicated. You guys are in 2 separate states. There's a child involved, even though it's with another person. This may go all the way to court, unless, there's an agreement between you guys. You guys can settle outside of court. I don't see Jasmine as being an outside of court settling type of person. I just don't see that. But, if the price was right, he probably would push Gino out of house and home. So I don't think he would be up for that. But that probably would be what it would take for her to be like, see ya. He says she'll try to destroy me, and he's right. I agree. He says, but he's going to give her a fight, which he should do that. So she's in Florida, so they're going to have somebody serve her, and then they're going to take it from there in Michigan, which is where he's at. He says the whole situation with Jazz was the biggest mistake of his life, and he's glad he's finally falling. So now up next, he's going out on a date. Did he buy something from that shop? Maybe it's not the same thing, but he's got some pheromone spray here. A little voodoo of his own. He met someone, I believe they met online, kind of made a friendship. They went out once and things went well, I guess, as friends. So now they're going to go on an official date. He's been talking to Lexi daily. She's a bit quirky. She says, that Gino's a bit quirky, but she's very quirky herself. This is a wine tasting place, so they asked for ID. You know what? She's 30 years old. Now, she looks a bit on the younger side, a little younger than that, just probably because she was wearing like these, I don't know if it was like some cat headphones or earmuffs or something like that with the cat ears. And, the look in her face, she does look kind of young. Like he looked like he could have been taking his daughter out because, Gino's 56 and this young lady's 30. Is the age a problem? Well, we find out that actually she's like, you are actually older than my dad, so I can see why she was getting carded. She says the age isn't a problem to her, but yeah, the family might have an issue, and she kind of laughs a bit. She laughs a lot. I don't know if that's a good sign or bad on a date, but she was laughing a lot. She's a single mom of a 4-year-old. So what type of animal would you be was a question she asked, and he said a cheetah. She's like, yeah, right, more like a platypus. She knows this man well, but she knows that she's not a lioness herself. Again, they're both quirky. She's just younger. She says when she usually goes to this place, she goes to see the animals, so they both go out to see the animals, and she says she wishes her little baby was with her 4-year-old, because the child loves the animals. And he's actually happy about the situation because he's like, well, the fact that she has a kid shows me that maybe we could have a kid together. He's always wanted a kid. And so it looks like they spent the day because now it's night. And he walks her to the car, flirts a little bit. And she's like, I think that he's trying to do this again. And she's leaving the door open. And he's like, yeah, we can do this again. So he gets a kiss. He gets a quick kiss. She's like, well, can I have another one? She's like, yeah, maybe next time. We'll see. So I don't know if Lexi's really into him. She's playing a bit close to the cuff. So, and she was laughing a lot. I don't know if it was laughing out of the fact that she sees him as a joke. I don't know, but it could go either way. And I'm glad that she gave him that quick kisses. I didn't want to see more kissing. And, a lot of times I think guys are like, to me, want to go too fast. Like, hey, you don't deserve like this whole makeout session. This is literally your first date. You guys been talking probably online and on the phone. You guys went out as friends one time. This is the first date. Now you think you're going to jump her bones. Not that he was going to take it to that level, but who knows? If he started kissing her long enough, he may have thought he could do that. Yeah, we need to tell guys to slow down. So I see nothing wrong with her saying, that little peck is it. No more just yet. Okay, guys, we're done. We're done with this episode of Single Life. The last episode going is the tell-all. What are your thoughts, comments, and questions? What did you think about this season? Now, I can't say it blew me away, but it was a decent season. And so was Before the 90 Days. I thought that was a good season as well. Of that franchise, part of the 90-day world. And you guys were showing us a lot of love on some of these Single Life episodes. I guess you were interested in some episodes more than the others. But, let's see as we go further into the tell-all, and we'll talk again next time. This is Irene, Faith, Love, and Trends, CBiz Media. All the best. God bless. Email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com or check me out on my website, where you can check out the other platforms as well at cbiztvmedia.com. All right, guys, talk to you later.